Sleater-Kinney, Path of Wellness, album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning here tonight to chat about the latest from Olympia, Washington legend Sleater-Kinney. Call the Doctor, The Hot Rock, my personal favorite, All Hands on the Bad One. These are just classic albums. They were urgent, they were frantic, they were super catchy. Now, eventually, I figured that they were going to go a little bit more indie, which they started doing with one beat, but even at the time, I thought this was still a very good step in that direction. But this may shock some. I've never been one for the woods. I'm not that into the album. Yeah, I do love how guitar-driven the tracks are. Some of the performances are completely electric. But overall, this didn't give me the same feeling as like their first 5 or 6 albums. Now, I did enjoy No Cities to Love a couple of years ago, their comeback album. But their last album, The Center Won't Hold, ooh, a lot of people were kind of into this new direction for the band. I was not one of them, though, and y'all might hate me, but a lot of the singles leading up to this new one haven't been rubbing me the right way either. Let's chat about this thing. Now, there are some gems here, like this album's opener, Path of Wellness. For what it's worth, I think it's one of the best tracks here. It's upbeat, it's sharply written, it gives me that same feeling that I got listening to the early days of Sleater-Kinney. It's not the wildest track here, but it still has that sense of urgency to it. The riff is fantastic. I love how guitar-driven this is. This is just really great all around. And if I just had to just say one single that I've loved since day one, it would be Method. I think this track is fantastic. This one has such a great groovy riff. It's got so much swagger to it. To me, this sounds like the evolution of the band that I could actually kind of go with. It's really fresh. On the other hand, Favorite Neighbor is one of the most urgent and alarming tracks here. I love the bass grooves. I love the synths too. It's got a lot of that same anxiety that early Sleater-Kinney music did. It's got a great groove to it. Some of the vocals here are some of the best on this entire album. It almost even has some post-punk vibes. It's easily the most off-the-rails sounding track here. I don't know though, man. Yes, I like this album a little bit more than The Center Won't Hold, but I don't know where, but I've lost sight of Sleater-Kinney. High in the Grass. This track just sucks. It has sucked since the first time I heard it. It's so lopsided. It just kind of plods along. And you know what? Some of the vocals are top notch. But everything else about this is so tame, and that's certainly not where I've come to expect to hear Sleater-Kinney. Shadowtown is also freaking boring. These tracks don't have a lot of energy to them. It doesn't have that explosive anxiety that some of their early records did. And you know what? I don't necessarily have a problem with a 5-minute plus track from Sleater-Kinney. I don't even have a problem with a slow burner from them, but this just is not it. And Tomorrow's Grave, I probably should like. It's chaotic, it's off the rails, it's wild. Real shame about the mixing and the production though, boy. And the rest of this album just doesn't really shift me either way. Worry With You is an odd one. This is far from the worst track here. As far as the single goes, it's actually grown on me a little bit. Once again, it's lacking the exciting moments or the explosive nature of early Sleater-Kinney. And you know what? I'll say this. It's still really well written, and some of the vocals are great. But outside of that, middle of the road. No Knives. I'm not into it. I don't know who called for like an artsy left field indie rock track like this. It just does not really complement their sound. On the other hand, complex female characters, one of the best deep cuts here. I love the bluesy riff. I love the gruff feeling to this all. All around, this is just such a great character study on False Allies. It's a powerful tune, but it is a great reminder of what this album could have been, as is Down the Line. Once again, it's gritty, it's a little bluesy in points, it's even a little hypnotic even. If they were going to update their sound, here it is. Not to mention, it's easily the most emotionally charged track here. It actually made me go back and listen to this album a few more times just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But then Bring Mercy just kind of brings me back to that middle of the road feeling once again. This isn't the worst track here, but it doesn't excite me. It doesn't get in my veins. It doesn't rile me up. It's just so lackadaisical. Which, you know what, once again, in another vein, it could be, not that bad of a thing. Sleater-Kinney have made great slow burners before. This isn't it, though. This album, for me, is not winning me back in their good graces. It's a little bit better than their last album, but they are on this weird path right now, and I don't know what's causing it. There are moments of brilliance here that made me go back and re-listen to some of their glory days. The performances, when good, are still pretty electric, and they can still write such a sharp, tune. But I can't love this. I can't even say I really enjoy a lot of this album. It's very average. I'm feeling a decent 6 on this, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.